Hello. I'm super pissed off because I had to do this video again because I didn't have the audio settings done properly. That is why you always check your settings before you start recording. Fuck. Right, for the second time today. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I haven't uploaded in 5 days, I don't know why. I've been busy, I think. Can't remember. But whatever. So, this video I want to talk about mixing. I want to give you guys a few tips on volume control in your mixes. So what brought this to my attention is a subscriber of mine inboxed me on Facebook and he said, if you can give me a help, if you can give me a hand, because one part of my mix is softer than the other, how do I fix that? Now, two things ring out to me when he said that. It's either volume automation or you need to layer where you haven't layered. So example, if your intro has 4 layers and your breakdown has only 2 layers, your breakdown is obviously going to sound softer than your intro just because there's not as much stuff stacked up on top of each other. So yeah, so we'll get to that in a second. And the second thing that brought this to my attention was Vejos uploaded a video too talking about mixing, and he had a very great point. So I just want to cover, what he said about the whole, just using your ears with the volume, and he said not. I agree with him not to overthink mixing. Like it's, yeah, just I feel like people overthink it a lot. I mean, I guess we have a right to. I guess. I mean, we're making music. We're releasing music to the world, so that, we're opening ourselves up to criticism to potentially thousands of people. So we're gonna have that self-doubt in our minds, but I feel like once you let go of the overthinking, you're gonna make a lot better music. I know that's been happening to me over the past couple of months, and I've been just enjoying it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. But let's just have a little talk, right? I'm gonna reset everything. Let's just say you're starting with drums, right? Most of us start with drums. I'm going to just reset everything. Now, okay, there we go. Everything's reset. You've thrown in your drums, you've picked your samples, whatever. This is going to be with no EQ, no compression, none of that bullshit. Alright, because realistically, with samples that you've bought, I mean, the drums have probably already been EQ'd and compressed, so really I could just leave the drums in the song like this and they'll sound fine. But we're producers and we like to fuck shit up, so it's whatever. So this is just going to be a volume mix. Let's take a listen. I'm going to have these really loud so you can hear, because there's going to be a hearing exercise, so be warned, this could be a loudness warning. Okay, this is not mixed, this is just drums thrown into the playlist, right? Okay, I'm going to give you a good starting point, right? You just started, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to continue this mix, right? Drums. If you're working into a drum bus, which I highly suggest, okay, I like to put it down to -2 decibels. Now, why? Because it leaves you headroom to push for your master, which I will talk about when I make mastering videos, but also I feel like the professionals say that you need 3 dB headroom, right? I feel like it's too much, because then I tried it once at 3 dB and the mix was just still too soft. But not just that too, with -3 you then leave yourself more room to over compress everything. And like, number one, I don't like to sound like everybody else. Number two, then if you look at people's WAV files, they're just big blocks of color. Like it's literally just like a purple block or a blue block or whatever the fuck the color of the WAV file is, and it's because they've literally just over compressed the shit out of it, and it just, I don't know. Deadmau5 used to say that everyone sounds like a over compressed piece of crap, and I kind of agree with him, like fuck, but it's whatever, So I like -2, okay? So you put your you always adjust your drum bus first as well, guys. You're not gonna, do the mix and then go, oh shit, my drum bus, and bring it down, because it's gonna put everything out of balance. So drum bus, I typically like to go -2. It's a good starting point. Alright? Now, essentially in your mix, you just don't want shit to be louder than your drums. I mean, so like I said, don't overthink it. make sure everything's not louder than your drums, and you should be okay. So let's have a little mix here just with the volume. Remember, with our ears, it's a hearing exercise, not with our eyes, so use your ears. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Okay, I can straight away hear that the snare is really loud, so I essentially don't like to go below 2.5 in the volume. So alright, that sounds good. Alright, now we're going to move on to our cymbals, right? The same thing, you're working into a cymbals bus, you bring the cymbals down. Now cymbals will always change, so don't stress on cymbals. Every song I've made, I've had to come back and adjust the cymbals multiple times, because each song's different. So I like to usually just go around straight away. I'll go -4, -5 if the drums are really loud, but we'll go at 4.5, right? We'll go halfway. Same thing, guys, just using your ears, adjust the cymbals. Very nice. Now that is essentially fine. I can leave that like that if I wanted to, and I can move on with the track. Now another thing too is what we're doing right now. It's called aggressive mixing. Okay, aggressive mixing is when you literally mix everything as you go. I work like this. A lot of people wouldn't have even done what I just did. They just throw the drums in, make a whole track, and then mix at the end. I don't like to do that because, number one, okay, we just mixed 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds, right? So imagine drums and then you add your drop, your intro. Imagine 20 plus sounds trying to mix that at the same time. You're going to waste your time, you're going to get stressed out, you're going to come across problems, a lot of problems, and I think it's just causing stress for no reason. That's why I like to aggressively mix, because now that I know these drums are sweet and I can make the whole track to this kick and that snare. Everyone is different, but I like to aggressive mix because now I know that this is ready to go and I can start a track and make everything leveled to this kick and this snare. Okay, so essentially this first tip is just about not overthinking and just using, your ears, and just, a good starting point for your drums, guys, is just -2 decibels and you'll be sweet from there. Cymbals -4 and just go from there. Okay, now the second problem where my subscriber asked me, he said, okay, one part of the mix sounds louder than the other. Right, so I've got these chords, right? Basic chords. Okay, oops. Basic chords. Alright, let's take a listen. The side chain's on, so whatever. Same thing. I want to adjust these because I've already done the video. Alright guys, so same thing, if you've got a keys bus or whatever for your pianos, chords, if you've got a bus for that, I suggest you do. Same thing, guys, I like to go -2, but these are going to be really loud, so I'm going to already bring these way down. Alright, same thing, guys, you just use your ears and we'll just adjust just with the volume. Alright. Alright, so there we go, just with volume. Right now, I purposely made a mistake in this. You guys probably saw me do it, but I already had it set up before, whatever. It looked way cooler, but whatever. Because there's a mistake in these chords. I want to see if someone can point it out. What's wrong with these chords? Leave a comment too if you heard it, but what the problem is the last chord hit. The last chord is completely off. Completely off. Right, take a listen. that just sounds yuck. This by ear, that's meant to be a B because that's just the same as the first chord. It's quite common to end the last chord as the first chord. You don't have to, but let's take a look at the difference now when it's so instead of an A sharp, you go into a B. Let's take a listen to the difference. Way nicer, way better, and you can just tell. Remember guys, it's all about using your ears. So you could tell that that sounded off, so we fixed the problem. Now, very good. Okay, let's just say now, right, that's your intro. You get to your breakdown, you want to add another chord stack, okay? So, the breakdown, let's just say we get rid of all the drums. You just got your hi-hats, and then you've got this thing, and you've got second chords, whatever, laid in. Okay, same thing guys, I'm going to just do a bit of a volume mix now, just of this breakdown, right, just with the volume. Okay, that sounds nice and full, nice together, nicely glued together. But what happens if we take a listen to all of it now? Right, this intro's only got one layer, this breakdown has two. This is obviously going to sound louder, right? Let's take a listen. So, you know, I'm going to assume that's the type of problem you're having, to my subscriber who asked me the question. Now, you either then need to make the choice. You've got two choices here. This is where you either have to stack this up as well, okay? But if you insist on just having the one layer and then going into the two, what you can do is this volume automation. So we're going to go into our mixer, find the chord, you just go right click, create automation clip, right? And here you go. A little tip too, if your chords are blue, let's say you got them blue, you know, click up here, rename them color, make it the same color. It's just nice on your eyes, especially if you've got a lot of automation going on, because I know I do, so I do this all the time. Now, your automation is gonna at default come like this, so that's the volume, right, which is nice. So this is why I like FL. It's nice and simple. You go above this line, the chords are going to get louder. You go below the line, the chords will get softer. Okay, so what you do first is, right, you right click and you go copy value, so you can't lose your original volume of those chords, right? Then we'll come here, stretch this out. Okay, so you know we're going to try automate the volume so it all sounds level in volume in the mix. So you come to here, same thing, the start of the chords, paste the value, right click again, and now as you can see the volume has dropped. Let's take a listen, and it's all the way down, you're virtually not going to hear these chords. Okay, so let's find a nice spot. Just a little bit loud. See, that sounds okay. That sounds better than what we had. So if you, let's say you found a nice little spot, right? Same thing, right click guys, copy the value, come all the way across, right click again, paste the value, okay, bang, copy the original, copy, and paste. And now after this little breakdown, these chords will be back at original volume, and then that gives you the option to, you know, keep them the same volume, to change them, get rid of them, adjust the volume again. Let's take a listen. See, that sounds a lot better. You can still just hear the nice harmonics of the second layer chords, but it's not as loud. It's not, you know, this part of the mix isn't way louder than the rest. So that's what I mean by volume automation. Now, yeah, so the choices are yours, guys. You either add the correct amount of layers, or you just volume automate. Volume automation is cool too because it adds movement for your mix and stuff. It's really nice to have in there. I think that's really it. I hope I covered everything that I did in the first video, because like I said, this is the second time I had to do it. But yeah, so essentially guys, the tips for mixing, you know, don't overthink, use your ears, volume automate, correct use of layers, yeah, and starting points guys for everything, just make your drums -2, right, the drum bus -2, right, and then usually you don't go above -1, don't go below -3, and then you mix to your drums guys, and you should be okay. So I hope this helped. The video's a lot shorter than the first one. I rambled on a lot in the first one, but I hope this got the point across. Yeah, I might see you guys again for a double upload, eh? Enjoy.